Yo, what is up you guys, Havoc here once again bringing you guys today's videos today. I thought I'm going to show you guys, in my opinion, the top 5 Talon 8 farm bases out there. So please know guys, that the only way you will find the best base is just to create your own. Really, that's just how it is. But if you're here to just look for a base to build and, you know, just to have meanwhile, then these bases are probably your best bets. So I'm going to be hitting 3 key points, which are going to be clan castle, main defenses, and storages. And yeah, so by the way guys, there's just no order in these, so number 1 is not the best or the worst, it's just number 1. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, so on to number 1, we have a base created by me, and I'll leave everyone who built the base in the description below, except for me of course. So this one right here, for the first one, which is Clan Castle, the Clan Castle is alright, if you guys don't know, in a 4x4 core, that is. You can't really centralize the clan castle, but just put it on either like the top, bottom, left, or right. So right here is in the top, which is pretty good, and it protects the whole entire base. It isn't actually lureable from one point of view. Like if you drop a giant right here, the clan castle won't come pouring out and just chasing you. So that's pretty good, guys. You have to actually initiate the attack to make sure that the clan castle comes out. Alright, so for main defenses, the main defenses, I actually call those the air defenses, the wizard towers, and the mortars. And for Town Hall 9, that would be also expos and stuff like that. So you guys get the idea. So in this one right here, the splash damage, which is going to be the wizard towers and the mortars are actually in the outside because if you guys don't know, mortars kind of stopped getting too much of an importance at Town Hall 7. Even though Town Hall 8 does value the mortars a lot, some people like to have it in the outside and some people like to have it all in the inside. So in this base is in the outside, protecting the whole entire base, if you guys can see right here. And we have a little spring chest for here just in case giants come in and stuff like that. And yeah, wizard towers are all in the center right here, which is pretty good. You know, you can't just easily just break in this compartment and take one wizard tower out, so that's pretty good. And as far as the air defenses go, those are also in the middle as well. They're pretty much the same spot as the wizard towers, except for, you know, just rotate it a little bit. Like, you guys should get my idea that they're all in the middle right here. Like, they make a little pattern, like triangle right here and triangle right here. Alright, so for the storages, which is probably the most important thing in a farming base, is probably gonna be in this base. Gonna be protecting gold and dark elixir more than elixir. Now the reason why I say that is because there is one elixir storage right here in the first compartment, and there's also one right here in the first compartment in the top side. So the only elixir storage that is kind of protected is the one in the right side, which is in the second compartment. But as far as all the other storages go, the gold is protected and the dark elixir is nicely tucked in there as well. But you can also go ahead and just swap these out with the elixir storages if you want to, but it's all up to you. Most of the time when the elixir is in the first compartment, it's alright as well because there is defenses, there is a mortar right there, and there is a wizard tower right there as well. So I guess it's all fine if you wanted to go ahead and leave it there. So that's pretty much it guys for this base, and let's go to move on to the next one. Alright guys, so looking at this base right here, we actually have a nice base. Now this one, the Town Hall 9 version of this one was actually my top 5 Town Hall 9 bases, and mainly because of one reason, and it still is the reason why I picked this one as well. The main reason why is just how the compartments are set up, and it's just a confusion to the giants. Like if you want to go ahead and drop some giants right here, most likely if you break into one wall, they will go into that compartment and then walk around and go into the next one. They won't actually start going like a regular base. So if you guys get my idea, then yeah. But as far as the clan castle goes, this is actually centralized, non-lurable. Again, if you can't initiate the attack, you can't lure out the clan castle unless you like drop a hog or something. So it's pretty good. You can also switch the clan castle with the town hall because this was originally a trophy base. But since the storages are pretty much going to be the same way in a farming base except for this right here, then I decided to go ahead and just swap out the town hall with the clan castle. So you can go ahead and pop that in right there, and bam, you have a trophy base. Just replace this clan castle with the gold storage. Alright, so for the main defenses, I really like this because they're just all spread out, except for the air defenses, which are all in the middle, which kind of does protect against air, but some people don't really like it in the middle, so that's kind of like a downside to the base. A lot of people don't like to have all the air defenses in one compartment, which is in the middle. But I guess if that doesn't bother you, then it's alright right there. The wizard towers are spread out, and I really like it. The symmetry in this base is not the best. Like if you look at the wizard towers, they're really not in a perfect triangle, but if that doesn't really bother you, then you won't really mind that. So That's pretty good as well. And as far as the storages go, they're actually really spread out. And the main reason why you want to go ahead and have your storages spread out is because if the queen is in range of like 3 storages, she'll most likely get all those 3, so it's always important to have the storages spread out. I also forgot to mention the mortars, which are also protecting the entire base, and they are also in the outside of the base, which is not really too much of a problem in this base. So yeah, other than that, there's really nothing to say, but let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright guys, so looking at this base right here, now this one I actually modified myself. If you guys want to go ahead and look at the original version, it looked like this, but the reason why I actually changed it is because I just felt like the mortars were just too squished together. But if you prefer to have your mortars on the inside, then go ahead and swap it back to the original version. So anyways, for the clan castle, it's actually pretty centralized. Again, if you don't initiate the attack, the clan castle does not pour out. And by initiating attack, I just mean that unless you don't actually start your attack, not like dropping a barb and a whole army comes out of the clan castle, you know, unless you don't start your attack, the clan castle does not come out. So every time I say that, I just mean that you actually have to attack rather than just dropping a troop. So it's actually pretty nice and centralized right there. Looking at the main defenses like the Wizard Tower and the air defense, there isn't really too much of a perfection in the symmetry going on here. But again, guys, if it bothers you, then go ahead and move it yourself. But for me, it really doesn't bother me, and I really have a tendency to go ahead and fix stuff when I don't really like it. Like, I try and make everything perfect, but this one, it really doesn't bother me, so it shouldn't bother you if you have the same thing I do. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. The Wizard Towers are protected, separate compartments as well. Air defenses are all in the triangle here, and it's really nice. Like, it protects the entire base, guys. Obviously, you have to protect the whole entire base. So if a Wizard Tower is all the way over here, then you'll go ahead and say, hey man, just fix that a bit. Go ahead and put it in the middle or something, like, you know, I do in streams when people just suddenly have the clan castle all the way over here, and I'm like, hey, you know, go ahead and try and move this in a little bit. So, you know, same thing I'm trying to say. Now, the only thing I don't like about this base is a part of the storages. Now, the storages are alright. They're actually spread out, of course. They're fine, but there's just one thing, and it's the Dark Elixir, which is almost in the first compartment. Like, that really bothers me. So if you guys want to go ahead and swap that out with the clan castle, that's up to you. You can go ahead and do that. But the clan castle will be alertable from the top side. I think not that much. But if you guys want to go ahead and do that, then go ahead and do that, because the clan castle and the Dark Elixir can be swapped at any time, because Dark Elixir in this base is kind of off. But if that does not bother you as well, then go ahead and keep it like that, and it's fine right there. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this base. Really nice. And yeah, let's go and move on to the next one. Alright, so looking at this one right here is actually really nice. It's actually a base created by me a long time ago, so obviously the clan castle was the first thing. So the clan castle was the same thing as the first base, which had, you know, the 4-thing core. 4x4, 2x2, whatever that is. And it's actually not that lurable from either side. Of course, as we said like 4 times already, the clan castle is actually not that lurable unless you initiate the attack or drop a hog. So most bases like this that have the clan castle out here, obviously can actually drop a barb and then just, you know, the whole army comes out. So that's what I mean by initiating the attack again, as I said in the past base. Alright, so for the main defenses, obviously these are actually really nice. Triangular for the air defenses and triangle for the Wizard Towers. Of course, a square for the mortars. So really nice symmetry on these. And looking at how they protect pretty much the whole entire base. Mortars as well. So again, the mortars are obviously in the outside. So, you know, of course, every single base, or at least most of the bases, will have the mortars in the outside. So it really isn't a big deal. Alright, so for the storages, looking at them right here, they're actually really nicely spread out, and they're really protected from the mortars, the Wizard Towers, and the air defenses, which is really nice. As far as the Dark Elixir goes, obviously, it's always in the middle, so there really isn't nothing to say about the Dark Elixir in most of the bases. So really, there's nothing much to say about this base, but it's pretty good, and I really recommend it, guys. So, really awesome base, and let's go to move on to the last base. So looking at this one, I actually like how it looks and how the traps are just set out in this base. So I really like it. But the first thing, which is obviously the clan castle. Now this base right here, it kind of is more convenient to attack from the left side if you're an attacker. But obviously you can't really fix that unless you swap it with the Dark Elixir, which then the Dark Elixir is more convenient from the left side. So you really have to choose which one you want. But the good thing is that it's not really just lurable like from the outside. Like you can't, again, drop a barb and it all comes out. But if you drop a giant, it maybe will come out, so watch out for that. You may want to go ahead and protect the clan castle a little bit more than that. so maybe swap it out with something else in the base. Looking at the main defenses, they're again in a symmetry, a triangular symmetry right here. Triangle with the woods towers and triangle with the air defenses. And for the mortars, it's obviously a rectangle right here. So it protects the entire base, the mortars, and obviously the air defenses and the woods towers protect the entire base as well, which is obviously the most important thing. Like, you can't have 3 woods towers over here and 3 air defenses over here, because obviously they won't protect the entire base, just one side of the base. I really like the storage in this base because there isn't any in the first layer. Like, you know how there's one layer right here, there's another layer right here, and then there is the middle. There's none in the outside. Literally, some bases have some in the outside, which again, it's okay to have some in the outside as long as they're not overly unprotected. But of course, this base actually really does well with protecting all the storages in the middle. Now, the downside about this base, the bad thing about this base, you know, is that you will have a chance of the giants spreading around the entire second layer and taking out all the defenses. But the good thing about it is that they'll have a hard time getting the Dark Elixir. So it really is a half and half kind of situation here, where you may have some trouble in the middle, but again, you will protect something valuable. So you have to rethink that if you want to go ahead and use a base, but you can obviously move some stuff around, close compartments, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And it makes the base entirely just different and better. So that's pretty much it for this base, guys. There really isn't much to talk about this base as far as I can see. I don't know, maybe you can just like move this in the middle here. That will maybe do a little better. But that's pretty much it, guys, for this base. Obviously, it's really well made. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys, for the top 5 Tunnel A farm bases in my opinion. If you guys want to go ahead and comment below, tell me which top 5 you want to go ahead and see next, and I will possibly bring it for you guys. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out, YouTube. See you on the next one. Peace!